A mother and daughter walk into court, firm in their stance and loaded with printed screenshots, prepared to prove that a once close friend betrayed their trust. They claim the defendant agreed to watch their dog for a week while they traveled out of state. But instead of proper care, the dog was allegedly left alone for long stretches and returned with visible signs of illness. The vet bills that followed became the central point of their case. They're asking for reimbursement, emotional distress damages, and an apology. The defendant, composed but clearly defensive, tells a different story. According to her, the dog already had health issues before the handoff. She says the owners didn't leave proper instructions, nor did they inform her about the dog's specific dietary needs. As tensions rise, Judge Judy interrupts, demanding vet records, photos, and the written agreement, if one even exists. What she finds is a trail of vague text messages and an unfortunate lack of clarity on both ends. Judge Judy makes it clear, if it isn't in writing, it didn't happen. The mother tries to argue that they trusted the sitter as a friend and didn't expect problems. But Judy doesn't allow emotion to cloud the facts. Her ruling is precise. She awards only part of the claim, citing lack of full evidence for the rest. Moments later, a small claims case brings a former couple before the bench. They're disputing ownership of a shared vehicle purchased during their relationship. One party insists they paid more and deserve the title. The other says the vehicle was always intended as a joint purchase, and now that the relationship is over, they should sell it and split the profits. Judge Judy quickly zeroes in on the payment history. Who made the down payment? Whose name is on the insurance policy? Who pays for maintenance? The answers paint a clearer picture. While emotions from the breakup hang thick in the air, Judge Judy doesn't let personal history cloud legal reasoning. She rules based on documentation and contribution, leaving both parties with a lesson in separating personal life from financial decisions. In another emotionally charged case, a father and son are back in court over a loan the father claims was never repaid. The son admits borrowing the money but insists it was a gift. Tensions escalate as family issues spill into the courtroom. Judge Judy allows a brief moment for both parties to explain the history, one that includes strained relationships, past support, and verbal agreements. But when the son mentions his father said not to worry about paying it back, Judy demands evidence. There's none. No texts, no acknowledgement of the alleged forgiveness of debt. She doesn't waver. In her court, loans need proof. Gifts need clarity. The ruling is simple: the son owes the money. Emotions aside, financial responsibility doesn't disappear with time or sentiment. Judy's eyes narrow as she scans the paperwork. There's an LLC registration, both names included. There are bank statements showing regular deposits and withdrawals. It's more than just helping out. It's a partnership. Judy walks them through what a legal partnership means, and explains that once you form a company, certain responsibilities come with it. She ultimately rules that the defendant must return the funds she withdrew improperly, adding that friendships and business rarely mix well when boundaries aren't set. As the day closes, the courtroom is quieter, but the lessons ring louder. Judge Judy's sharp sense of justice, her insistence on documentation, and her unwillingness to entertain vague excuses make every case a tutorial in accountability. What makes the episode memorable isn't just the drama, but the clarity that follows each decision. Each case serves as a reminder: no matter the relationship, no matter the story, proof always matters. In a world full of, he said, she said, Judge Judy brings truth into focus with facts, timing, and a deep understanding of human nature. The emotional moments are balanced by levity and the occasional chuckle from Judge Judy herself, usually at a defendant who thinks charm will outweigh common sense. It never does. From pet care gone wrong to busted electronics, from broken leases to blurred property lines, the cases unfold like a mirror to everyday conflicts. And each ruling carries the weight of fairness and clarity that fans have come to expect. Judge Judy's court may be small in size, but its impact is mighty. And in this episode, like so many before it, the gavel falls not just with finality, but with purpose. One of the more unusual cases of the day involves two neighbors arguing over a shared driveway. The plaintiff says the defendant keeps blocking access with their car, despite clear boundaries marked years ago. Photos show cars parked over the line, mailboxes nudged, and a fence partially removed. The defendant says the shared space wasn't legally defined and claims the original property map allows for more flexibility. Judge Judy is quick to ask for the deed, the property survey, and any past agreements. She's unimpressed with verbal claims and demands physical proof. Once the map is reviewed, she explains, patiently but firmly, how the property line works. The defendant's claims fall apart, and Judy makes it clear, boundaries aren't negotiable. She grants the plaintiff's request for damages and issues a warning about future violations. The courtroom gets lighter when a teenager sues his former friend over a broken gaming console. The plaintiff claims he lent his PS5 to the defendant for the weekend and returned to find it no longer working. The defendant says the console was already acting funny and denies causing the damage. Judge Judy raises an eyebrow at the teenage lingo and dives into the real question. Did either of them think to sign a written loan agreement? Of course not. But the plaintiff has photos, dated texts, and receipts for the original purchase. The defendant tries to argue accidental damage, but Judy doesn't budge. If you borrow something, she says, you're responsible for returning it in the condition you received it. She rules in favor of the plaintiff, ordering the full value of the console to be paid. A landlord-tenant dispute quickly follows. The landlord is seeking compensation for damages done to the property after the tenant moved out. The tenant says the apartment was left in better shape than they found it. Judge Judy doesn't go for hearsay. She wants the move-in and move-out photos. The landlord provides a set of blurry pictures, but Judy notices the dates are off. The tenant's photos are clearer, time-stamped, and show reasonable wear and tear. Judge Judy uses the opportunity to lecture both sides on the importance of documenting every step of a lease agreement. While she awards a small amount to the landlord for cleaning, she dismisses the bulk of the claim, citing poor record-keeping. Her parting words, next time, take better pictures, and better notes. Then comes one of the more heated confrontations of the episode, two best friends turned rivals after a failed business deal. They had started an online clothing shop, pooling their resources and working together on design, marketing, and fulfillment. When profits began to roll in, things went sour. The plaintiff claims the defendant pulled out of the partnership and withdrew money from the joint business account without notice. The defendant claims the business was never official and insists she was just helping out.